didn't say we were going to start, did I, Fi? But I will start now. I'm joined today by Fi Woof, who's a Kent-based theatre maker and also fellow collaborator that we are hoping to take something to the Edinburgh Fringe in 2023. We're not quite sure what that is yet. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I wanted to take a big all singing and dancing show, but in reality, as I've spoken to Joe Strickland in episode 2, that's a decision that you really have to put a lot of thought into. So today I've got Fi. Fi, say hello.
Hello, nice to join you. Thank you for inviting me.
Because we're audio podcasting today with some screenshots.
It's been a long time since I went to the Fringe. The Fringe itself I went to as a stage management support with LGBT theatre company many years ago. It was great fun, and that was the last time I went. I'm quite ashamed of that, but it's very exciting, and I look forward to going next year.
Yeah,
but it's very overwhelming, isn't it? I have had a look.
It's crazy. The consciousness that is the Edinburgh Fringe. You kind of everyone's as a theatre person, you know that the Edinburgh Fringe exists. If you don't know any of the festivals, you know that there's a London Fringe and you know there's the Edinburgh Fringe. And audiences are the main focus of that, of people coming to see it. But as a maker and creators, we're very aware that there's this consciousness thing. So what's the Edinburgh Fringe to you? It's very overwhelming. It's come up this year. So what are your first thoughts?
Oh, crikey. There's 3,000 odd events, shows, performances going on at the Edinburgh Fringe. I don't know where to start. I really don't know. I don't want to focus on the companies I know of and who are highly regarded, top tier stuff. You know, I'm thinking of Punch Drunk and Complicity. I don't want to see that stuff. I want to see the smaller shows. I want to see new experimental theatre. I want to see new writing from people who aren't mainstream. That's what I'm interested in. I don't know where to start. This website is overwhelming and very difficult to navigate. So I gave up.
I've been wanting to share a little bit about my thought processes when I went to the Fringe and had the opportunity to spend 2 to 3 days on the ground seeing stuff, and how I managed to put a program together. So we'll just look through the major components of the festival. Now, the festival Fringe we all talk about, but as in our pre-show chats, we kind of established that it's just massive. So for people watching, 75th anniversary this year, we've got the Arts Festival, which started on July the 28th, runs to the end of August. We've got the Festival Fringe, which runs from the 5th of August to the 29th of August. We've then got the Edinburgh International Festival, which runs in parallel, and I think that's where
I forgot about that one. That's the highbrow international classical music and amazing big theatre shows.
I think that's grown up. It's like you've got Big Ted and TEDx.
Yeah.
Edinburgh International is the big festival, and the Fringe, which is equally as massive, well, probably more so now. I think I got the programme this year, there's 3,171 shows from 58 countries. Wow. And then just as a bit of a comparison, I quickly found in 2018, there were 3,548 shows. So in terms of pandemic coming back,
it's shrunk.
I couldn't find I didn't find a stat for 2019, which would have been the last physical one, but it's pretty much back on par. I mean, it's crazy that there's that much stuff.
It's huge. So
the Edinburgh Tattoo is another part of it, again, running parallel to the festival.
Yes, for the whole month.
For the whole month. Then you've got the International Film Festival, which is the 12th to the 20th of August. The International Book Festival, the international, and then you've got Edinburgh festivals that extends beyond the Fringe. So you've got the Scottish Festival of Storytelling in October. You've got Hogmanay at New Year. You've got the Science Festival in April. Children's Festival in May. July is the Jazz Festival, and then we're back to the beginning again. So, you know, the Edinburgh Fringe or the Edinburgh Festivals is kind of a rolling programme.
Let's talk about the programme and how we navigate this Fringe programme of the 3,000 or so shows.
Yeah,
not the international mainstream, but the Fringe itself.
So
let's say we want to look at theatre. Where would you start?
So with the website, I'd say you go to, you got to come down from the tab, because if you try and shortcut, it just goes all over the place. So yeah, you've got to be come down, and then we want to just go to theatre to start with. So we're going to decide we're going to go to theatre. I think as well, having a date and the hypothetical dates this week for me are the 18th and the 19th. So if we were going to go and see something on our Fantasy Edinburgh adventure, we'd go. So let's see what we get. What do we get? Let's have a look.
602 results.
602 results of theatre. And as I say, just to, we can then filter these results, and we can either put a show or performer. We can decide how we want to watch. And I think for this section, we're going to have our fantasy in person. We'll look at the end and swap that over and see if we actually have anything that we can do on those days or Saturday. So we're going to go to in person for now. We would then get a genre. So we could decide, do we want to filter this down further? I think it would be adding stuff on at this stage, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think we leave that. And I think this is the thing. When I've been in the past, I've had the physical programme and how we'll have a quick look at that. Our dates, we've put those in. Venues. Now, if you know where, I think this is the thing, if you know where your accommodation is, you would start by looking at where venues are.
In relation to where you're staying, so you don't have to do miles and miles of walking.
Yes, and I think once you've found some venues, that can then determine what shows you might see. But there isn't a way of specifying a range of venues. You can do a nearby. So
that's a good idea.
So if you were in person, you could say, what's nearby me now? So if you were in a cafe and you had got your geolocation on, you could say, what's nearby me now? So that's
helpful.
There's the accessibility feature. So if you really do need wheelchair access or you need to have a signed performance, you can specify some of that.
Yeah, that's quite a good list.
A special pricing. So if you just wanted to see the free stuff, which is
it doesn't say anything about concessions, but I guess concessions would be across the board as an offer.
So we can have a look at that when we look at the pricings. And then if there's a particular country that you're interested in, so you can do it by country. So view our results. We got 599 results. And
so it's all in alphabetical order, I must add.
There's a format to the way all of these entries are listed. You've got the name at the top, you've got the theatre and the genre. So we could do a search for new writing, or we could do a search.
Well, I did that earlier. I would call those tags, but the advanced search function doesn't let you put tags in. For example, I in the advanced search function, I wrote theatre for category, and then in the general, I put new writing, but it doesn't do a search for new writing.
Carol from the future here. I have discovered on further checks that in the category and genre there are two tabs, category and genre, and there is indeed a tick box for new writing.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case recording this audio in Zoom is enabling me to have a bit of a play with a feature that I've been wanting to play with for a while, which is being able to share my iPad. And this is an app which I can then use my iPencil to be able to tag things. Because what I have, so if I go, if we're going to look for new writing.
So this is the online PDF
This is the
of the
online
program?
PDF,
Right.
and this is the same thing that you would get if you picked up the physical brochure.
Great. New writing you're putting in the search on the brochure.
Yeah.
As it's highlighted the tag.
So it's
beneath
highlighted the tag when I've looked for them. And so if I go down, so new writing, it is picking out those tags.
Great, that's helpful.
So let's go down to theatre, which is, and so with this, so each one of those, I'm going to, so new writing. So the reason why I like this is, let's find one here. It's like this General Secretary, it's in the golden balloon. Now this is what I wanted to test out to see how it comes across on screen. I can highlight this out and then put it over here. And I've got it for reference. And then when I go back, when I go away from this, if I tag on this, it will take me back to where it was that I picked it out.
Amazing. And this is the PDF on your iPad of the Edinburgh Fringe programme.
And I have put it into an app called Liquid Paper.
Liquid Paper. So what Karen's done is she's copied and pasted the entry for that theatre event and just dropped it alongside the programme as a standalone, this is what I want to see list, starting with that one.
So they'll...
Amazing.
So let's go down to theatre. So this is... Festival is massive. It is color coded, so if you know that you like the purple stuff, you can, sort of go to purple, pink.
And note that the website is not color coded like
it's not,
the PDF program.
No. So as I say, this is, so I've been looking at different apps to which I can do this sort of stuff with, and one of them that I went through it, I was able to bookmark the different sections, so the orange section and stuff, so I could jump between it. But it didn't have this is the feature that I like to.
So this is what Karen was saying to me the other day, is if you're a seasoned festival goer, you're used to the color codings, and I'd imagine they'd be the same codes every year, or is that?
Yeah, it's quite familiar.
So you might want to use this PDF on a
go old school
pad.
So
yeah, but you're getting better your results. There's more results to the screen on your PDF versus the website. The website is 2 or 3 entries per screen.
And it doesn't give you the context, does it? And I think
no.
So red. Here we go. No, theatre. Is this theatre? Yes, theatre is in red. So yeah. So...
Oh, do you know what? Looking at this, it's much easier to scan the program than it is scroll down loads of pages where you only see 2 entries on a screen. I'm looking on an iMac. I've got a massive screen and I'm only seeing 2 theatre entries in alphabetical order at any one time. Whereas with your PDF, we've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10.
Yeah. And you get
and it's easier to scan.
Yeah, I mean, one of the new writing ones, an online performance, I spotted this in my stream of the day, this 1588. So this is one that I think I would quite like to have a look at, so I can put it to the side. But this is 1588. It's a scheduled online performance at Fringe Online. It's going to be on YouTube. It's showing between the 5th and the 29th of August. So our Fantasy Fringe window, it fits in there. It's a 7 o'clock performance and it's 2 hours. It costs £5.
Brilliant.
So that could potentially be, your evening show if you were doing a physical show. So then the question is, okay, so we found that and it fits within our schedule. Doesn't have a venue to look at. So what else is there here? As I say, and again, when I scroll down this, because I've done that new writing search, it's picked out those tags. So that's another way of just starting to narrow down what it is you're wanting to look at. I think when I went to the Fringe, I saw 19 shows in 3 or 4 days. And I had that list down to 50. And then once I got that list, I then had to work out where the venue numbers were. And then look at those shows in relation to each other. Because if you're going to go from show to show to show, it doesn't matter if you've done it from your physical home accommodation. Once you're at the festival, you don't want to pick one that's on the other side of from
Good
your home.
point.
So once you've found your, if we were doing our fantasy festival,
your 50 shortlist.
yeah, I think that's probably, you know, by the end of August, when, you know, I'm going to continue doing these streams, I suppose honing it down for what that final fantasy last week of the Fringe.
Oh, crikey.
You know,
so is that where the internet version is more effective, by choosing a locale and finding things near, and then going through that list with the PDF next to it?
I think,
or is that madness?
There's a combination. I think the thing I like about here, I mean, the one I'm looking at now is the activities of daily living, storytelling and comedy. It tells me that it's at the Gilded Balloon and it's on certain days. I think here you asked about concessions, Fi.
Okay.
On the first set that we're at quarter to two, you've got £10 and a £9 in brackets. That £9 will be the concession price. That information in the PDF program doesn't seem to be as clear cut and easy to see on the website version.
I've got a good one.
What have you found?
I found something a bit random and interesting. It's called Baxter versus the Bookies. It's on at 12:40.
So let me, if I click.
Now I can't see what date it is.
Let's see.
The 18th to the 19th of August. Okay, is the heading at the top of my browser. I'm using the browser.
Okay, so I've on screen program. So what's the name of the show?
Baxter versus the Bookies.
As in Baxter versus the Bookies. So it's come
That's
up.
the one.
We've gone here. It's a theatre piece. It's on at the Gilded Balloon. I think this is interesting. You find a show that you like, you probably find that you'll like a lot of similar shows that are at the Gilded Balloon. So it may be, if you've just got one day at the Fringe, you do decide to just look at what's on at the Gilded Balloon and see one venue, or you look at what the peripheral venues around the Gilded Balloon are and see if anything can convince you to leave your central location. So this would be our this would be the 12:40. So this is kind of the lunchtime slot. It's a
one-man show. It's only an hour. It sounds quite entertaining. Anachronism in the modern world of computer stats. It's about an aging bookie, old-fashioned horse racing bookie. Yeah, it's a random shot. It's the kind of thing I'd be happy to walk into.
Cool. I think this is the thing, just in a half an hour slot where we've just kind of gone, the Edinburgh Fringe.
And we've only selected 2 shows.
You know, there's so the online one, which I wanted to try and find an online one that 1588 might have a look at. And I
also want to add that you're talking about online shows. We looked through, we did a search, didn't we? We did an advanced search from the 3,100 and whatever it was Fringe shows, and there are only 20 around 20 online, digitally streamed to your living room shows, and most of them, of those 20, appeared to be pre-recorded on YouTube. So following pandemic, 2 years of Zooming and learning how to change the way we view and experience stuff, Edinburgh Fringe firmly feet and bums on seats in venues or outdoors.
And I
promenade.
think so, as I say, this is the 46 results, but then again we say only 46 if you're at Edinburgh, or you...
I was at 46, okay, sorry.
I got 46 for the days that we want to see. Again, it all depends what you search. This is through using the tickets feature.
We got 20 earlier, but I can't remember what the search was.
The tickets feature and just doing the filtered results, what to watch, and doing the online and on demand for those 2 dates. That one that I picked up on. That's caught my eye on several occasions now. So this is going to be my Saturday show. I'm going
Great.
to watch this one on Saturday. But again, if you're only up for 3 days, or you've got a day at which you decide you're going to take yourself to one side and watch some shows, you probably wouldn't be able to watch all 46. So choice is great, but actually the choice that you have is what you're given. And so we'll see. So yeah, I'll be looking more at this set of results on my other podcasts. I will take that off screen.
I haven't been following things much recently.
And
this is just, wow. There's loads of stuff. It's brilliant, exciting, but choosing is just how on earth. And I think you're right, Karen, just to choose based on where you're staying, theatres and events in the local area would be a great start.
Together, we're going to do something at the Edinburgh Fringe next year. Maybe that we do something similar to this, live from the Fringe, and we actually decide which shows we're going to go and see, and go through that process of how we decide.
That would be fun. Let's do that.
And we do it, and then we can, we can live stream and blog on the way, and we can sort of take people with us, and just have a bit of a safari. Let's go on safari to the Edinburgh Fringe.
Fringe safari. Let's do it. All right, that's lovely.
Yeah, and on that note.